14% of babies are born with Down syndrome. 2% of children are diagnosed with autism. 7% of children are diagnosed with ADHD. 8% of children have a learning disability. 14% of children have a developmental disability. 17% of Americans experience a communication disorder. 19% of Americans are classified as a person with a disability. Hi, Samir. My name is Wynter, and I'm interviewing you based on children who has a disability who are bullied. And your answer is based off what you experienced and what you've seen. What kind of resources do they have at school to help?
I don't know much about school because I don't usually work at school, but I would say from what I know and from the networks that I have developed, I would say that probably social worker would be able to help. So that's one resource. I would also suggest talking to a counselor that maybe the individual is close to or a teacher. Otherwise, I would say maybe if the school have some type of after-school club that comes together and talk about issues that are surrounding the school, which one topic could be about, people who have physically able.
How does this make you feel? What if you were in their shoes? Bullying of children with disabilities is significant, but there is very little research to document it. Only 10 U.S. studies have been conducted on the connection between bullying and developmental disabilities, but all of these studies found that children with disabilities were 2 to 3 times more likely to be bullied than other non-disabled peers. One study shows that 60% of students with disabilities report being bullied regularly, compared with 25% of all students. What can we do in our society to ensure those students without disabilities to understand the ones with it?
I would say it comes from the house, from the household. So probably engaging parents, maybe to talk to them about the issues that are going on in school, and then parents talking to their children about the issues as well, and kind of informing what's going on. That would be really great.
Despite the tremendous advance in different areas for people with disabilities, limitations of laws and regulations, poor enforcement of the laws, limited funding of programs disregarding for binding legal precedents, and societal prejudice keep many people with disabilities from being fully included in our society. Other children without disabilities to understand those with it.
Um, for instance, in my household, I have two little children, and even though they're very young, I would like to say that I'm very informative when it comes to that, and I'm very um, concerned about those issues in our society. And so I do let my kids know that they should be friends with all kinds of people. And I think every parent should do the same thing. I think it's something that's very important that our society needs to focus on educating our children at a younger age, letting them know that bullying is not right, no matter how different the other individual is.
Hello, my name is Maximilian Henry Vento, and I was born with a neurological disease called epilepsy, marked by sudden reoccurring episodes of sensory distance loss of consciousness. It's like passing out and foaming out the mouth, and you don't know what happens. Sometimes I just fall over and I wake up in a random place. I get help from my parents most of the time. I wake up in my bed, but I have them in the shower in the morning. And it's really weird because afterwards I'm super sore and I feel like I can't get up. It just, it's like running a marathon in like probably a couple minutes. My body is just in pain. I try to get up, I fall over. I'll try to do it again, I'll fall over. People are always telling me to sit down after I have one, but I can't. I just keep trying to get back up, but I just keep getting knocked back down. It is terrible. I really wish I was never born with it. I was diagnosed with it when I was a child. I had absence seizures, which is just where you stare off into space. When I was in third grade, I had a thing you call a Malgren seizure. It is a huge form where you fall over, and it's the exact same type of seizure I was just talking about. But when I was in third grade, my friend Trayvon uh, basically saved me by picking me up and bringing me home on a very hot day. It was it was probably during the springtime. Ever since then, I have started to have more and more seizures. It is very painful to be like this. I really want to play football, but I can't. Any sports, I can't be hit. I can't be hit in the head. If I get hit in the head, I could have a seizure, and I've who knows, one day I might just fall over, hit my head, and I have a chance of dying, honestly. It's very sad, and I really don't like to talk about it, but I'm really going to come out and say I have it. A lot of people don't know that I have this disorder, but I don't really like to tell people.
What are the effects? Kids who are bullied are more likely to have depression and anxiety. Signs of these include increased feelings of sadness and loneliness, changes in sleep and eating patterns, and loss of interest in activities they used to enjoy. These issues may persist into adulthood. Health complaints, decreased academic achievement, GPA and standardized test scores, and school participation. They are more likely to miss, skip, or drop out of school.
They picked on me because I had a disability. Stress and pain and what I was feeling inside took its toll on me. Trying to make myself sick in the mornings, burning myself in the shower. It got to the point where I first started to consider committing suicide. People used to come up behind me and either push me or when I had an electric wheelchair.
What can parents do? Be supportive of the child and encourage him or her to describe who was involved and how and where the bullying happened. Be sure to tell the child that it is not his or her fault and that nobody deserves to be bullied or harassed. Do not encourage the child to fight back. This may make the problem worse.